This week on Days of Our Lives, everything changes. Love turns into chaos. Family bonds are tested. And one young life may hang in the balance. The latest preview for November 3 to 7 promises heartbreak, mystery, and choices that could shatter Salem forever. We'll see Johnny and Chanel's dream of parenthood collide with Erin's sudden regret, Alex's heroic act take a shocking twist, and Thomas DeMera face a terrifying moment that no parent ever wants to see. As tragedy looms and secrets unravel, one question rises above all the rest. Can love really survive in a town built on lies? Let's break down every moment of this week's explosive preview, and uncover the emotional chain reactions that could change Salem's future forever. We open with Aaron Green, standing on the edge of a decision he can't take back. The air around him feels heavy, the kind of silence that only follows heartbreak. He turns to Tate Black, his voice cracking under the weight of truth. I didn't even know the kid was mine, until it was too late. That single line hits like a punch, raw, painful, irreversible. Aaron confesses that he's already signed away his parental rights, believing it was the right thing to do at the time. But now, regret seeps in like poison. His hands tremble. His eyes wander, searching for something that can't be undone. Tate listens quietly, torn between sympathy and fear for what Aaron might do next. Because the more Aaron talks, the clearer it becomes, he's not done fighting. I can't stop thinking, what if he grows up not knowing who I am? That haunting question lingers long after the scene fades. Meanwhile, across town, Belle Black arrives with joyful news for Chanel and Johnny. The adoption is finalized. They are now officially the parents of baby Tessero. But in Salem, joy never comes without a price. And as Aaron's conscience stirs, a new battle is already forming, one that could shatter their newfound happiness overnight. Later, sunlight filters through the DeMera living room, soft, golden, and full of promise. Johnny and Chanel stand together, cradling their baby. Around them are faces that define family: Belle, Marlena Evans, and Paulina Price, all gathered for the moment that will make the adoption feel real. Chanel smiles through tears as she says softly, "No more Tessero. He deserves his real name now." Johnny looks down at the baby, then up at the room. His name is Trey. John III. A stunned silence follows, not from shock, but from emotion. Marlena's eyes glisten. You can see the pride, the grief, the flood of memories of John Black, a man whose courage shaped Salem's soul. Belle places a hand on her mother's shoulder. Paulina beams with joy, already talking about baby Trey's bright future. But as the family celebrates, the camera lingers on Chanel's quiet smile, one that hides a flicker of doubt. Because deep down, she can't shake the feeling that something is coming. Something that could take it all away. Across town, Aaron's guilt grows heavier. Susan Banks feels a dark premonition. And somewhere in the distance, the sound of screeching tires waits to be heard. This name, Trey, may soon carry more than love, it may carry destiny. Across town, a strange energy stirs, the kind that makes lights flicker and hearts race. Susan Banks returns to the screen, wild-eyed and trembling, clutching her tarot cards as if they're burning her hands. She's seen something she wishes she could unsee. Her frantic call reaches Stephanie Johnson, who rushes over, thinking it's another one of Susan's eccentric outbursts. But this time, Susan's not joking. Her voice quivers with terror. It's coming, Stephanie, something dark, something you can't stop. Stephanie tries to steady her. Susan, calm down. What did you see? Susan's hands shake. A child. A bright light. Then, darkness. A car. Screeching. And a scream that won't stop echoing. Her tone drops to a whisper, eyes wide with dread. Someone young and innocent is about to pay the price for another's sins. Stephanie feels the air grow cold. And then, the line that freezes every day's fan to the bone. You can't stop what's already set in motion. Silence. The camera lingers on Susan's tear-streaked face as she looks toward the DiMera mansion. Because deep down, she knows, her vision isn't just a nightmare. It's a countdown. And time is almost up. Night falls over the Horton Town Scare, the annual Halloween event filled with laughter, costumes, and pumpkin displays. But beneath the cheerful music, tension hums like static. In the crowd, Kat Green moves uneasily, sensing eyes on her. Then, a flash of silver. A knife glints in the moonlight. Before she can react, Alex Kuriakis lunges forward, shouting her name. In one swift motion, he shoves her out of the blade's path, a hero's instinct that saves her life. The audience gasps. The knife clatters to the ground. But before anyone can process what just happened, the unthinkable occurs. A pumpkin, large, bright orange, and flying through the air, smashes into Alex's head. It's chaos. The pumpkin, meant as a harmless prank, was launched by Thomas DiMera and Rachel Black. Their laughter turns into horror as Alex collapses. Crowds scatter. Kat screams for help. Chad DiMera rushes in, pulling Thomas aside as medics swarm Alex's body. When Alex finally regains consciousness, bruised but alive, Chad's fury explodes. He realizes the pumpkin was aimed at Kat, and his own son was behind it. "Do you even understand what you've done?" Chad shouts, voice shaking. But beneath the anger is heartbreak, the pain of a father watching his son drift further away. The camera cuts to Thomas's face, guilt, fear, defiance all at once. This wasn't just a childish prank. It was a spark, the beginning of something that will tear the DiMera family apart. The night grows colder, and inside the DiMera mansion, silence gives way to shouting. Thomas bursts through the doorway, his young face twisted with anger and betrayal. Across the room, Chad is sitting beside Kat Green, offering comfort after the night's chaos. But to Thomas, that single image is proof of everything he fears, that his father's words mean nothing. "You said it was over." Thomas yells, his voice cracking under the weight of pain. "You promised." Chad rises, startled. "Thomas, it's not what you think," but the boy doesn't listen. His anger spills out in waves, the kind that comes from love turned to disappointment. "All you care about is her. You never cared about Mom or me, not really." Jennifer Horton stands frozen in the doorway, heartbreaking as she watches history repeat itself. Another DiMera man losing his son to misunderstanding and grief. Chad reaches for Thomas, desperate. "Please, just let me explain." But the boy's eyes fill with tears. "You're a liar." He turns and bolts out the door, running into the dark night. Chad and Jennifer chase after him, their voices echoing, frantic, fading into the distance. Then comes the sound no parent ever forgets. The screech of tires, the slam of metal, and a scream that cuts through the cold air. The screen fades to black, headlights, silence, and the crushing realization that love can break as easily as glass. The world becomes a blur of flashing red and blue. Outside University Hospital, paramedics rush Thomas DiMera through the emergency doors. His small hand slips from Chad's grasp, and for a moment, time seems to stop. Chad stands frozen in the parking lot, his heart pounding, the sound of sirens fading into a dull roar. Jennifer clings to him, her face pale with shock, whispering prayers between gasps of fear. Inside, doctors swarm. The words, internal bleeding, and head trauma, hang in the air like a death sentence. For the DiMeras, tragedy isn't new, it's inherited. Generation after generation has carried the same burden, love tangled with loss. But this time, something feels final. Chad's voice trembles as he whispers, "He's just a kid, he's my boy." Jennifer tries to reassure him, but her own tears betray her hope. As the camera pans down the hallway, we see Marlena, Belle, and Chanel arriving, faces etched with disbelief. News spreads through Salem like wildfire, another DiMera crisis, another innocent caught in the crossfire. And while doctors fight to save Thomas, Chad faces a truth far harder to heal. that every choice he made led to this moment. Will Thomas wake up? Or will Chad have to live with a silence that never fades? So ends one of the most haunting weeks Salem has ever seen, a story of fathers and sons, of love and regret, of choices that can never be undone. Aaron Green's guilt, Johnny and Chanel's fragile joy, Susan's chilling vision, and now Thomas's tragedy. All threads woven into one heartbreaking tapestry. Because in Salem, every secret costs something, and every act of love carries a shadow. What do you think will happen next? Will Thomas pull through? Can Chad ever forgive himself? And how will this ripple through the DeMera legacy in the weeks to come? Share your theories below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more days of our lives' mysteries. Because here in Salem, every story begins with love and ends with consequence.